Welcome back to Game Nations. Open world and action games have revolutionized gaming by offering players massive, immersive worlds filled with endless possibilities. These games push the limits of storytelling, freedom, and adrenaline-fueled gameplay, from crime-filled cityscapes to mystical lands brimming with danger. So gear up and dive into 30 of the best open world and action games that will keep you hooked up for hours. Hit that sub button as we begin. The game begins with Peter Parker and Miles Morales working together to protect New York City. However, things take a dark turn when Kraven the Hunter arrives, searching for the strongest prey to hunt. His forces take over parts of the city, targeting superpowered individuals, including villains like the Lizard, Dr. Kurt Connors. Meanwhile, Peter reunites with his best friend Harry Osborn, who has returned after undergoing a secret treatment for his terminal illness. Harry's health has improved thanks to a mysterious black substance, the symbiote, which later bonds with Peter, granting him incredible new abilities but also making him more aggressive and ruthless. As Peter becomes more consumed by the symbiote, Miles and Mary Jane grow increasingly concerned. Miles is also dealing with his own struggles, particularly his desire for revenge against Mr. Negative, Martin Lee, for killing his father. Ghost of Tsushima follows Jin Sakai, a samurai of Clan Sakai, during the Mongol invasion of Tsushima. When the Mongols, led by Khotun Khan, invade the island, the samurai of Tsushima are nearly wiped out in battle. Jin, one of the few survivors, is saved by the thief Yuna, and soon realizes that traditional samurai tactics won't be enough to defeat the Mongols. To liberate his home, Jin begins to embrace stealth and guerrilla warfare, using fear and deception tactics that go against the samurai code. This earns him the title of the Ghost among both the Mongols and the people of Tsushima. However, his new methods create tension between him and his uncle, Lord Shimura, who raised him as a son and expects him to uphold the ways of the samurai. As Jin wages war on the Mongols, he faces moral dilemmas. Does he stay loyal to the samurai code or embrace the ruthless tactics needed to save his people? His choices shape the fate of Tsushima and his relationship with Lord Shimura. The story begins in the kingdom of Dundrasil, where a newborn prince is marked with a glowing symbol, signifying that he is the Luminary, a prophesied hero who will defeat the darkness. However, King Carnelian of Heliodor brands the Luminary as a harbinger of calamity, and monsters invade Dundrasil, forcing the baby to be sent down a river in a desperate attempt to save him. The child is found and raised in the peaceful village of Cobblestone, unaware of his true identity. On his 16th birthday, after discovering his powers, he sets out on a journey to learn the truth about his destiny. The hero travels to Heliodor, where he expects to be welcomed but is instead imprisoned as a supposed threat to the world. With the help of a thief named Eric, he escapes and begins gathering allies to uncover the truth. Eric, a rogue with a mysterious past and a strong sense of loyalty. Veronica and Serena, twin sisters, a powerful mage and a gentle healer, chosen to protect the Luminary. Sylvando, a flamboyant and charismatic entertainer with hidden depth. Rab and Jade.
You're going to Hawaii.
After rising from rock bottom in Yakuza, like a dragon, Ichiban Kasuga is trying to rebuild his life. However, he soon discovers shocking information about his long-lost mother, leading him to travel to Hawaii in search of answers. However, things go wrong when Ichiban wakes up naked on a Hawaiian beach, having lost everything. He soon finds himself entangled in a massive criminal conspiracy involving Hawaiian gangs, international crime syndicates, and secrets tied to his past. Meanwhile, Kazuma Kiryu, the legendary dragon of Dojima, is battling his own struggles. Now working as a secret agent for the Daidoji faction, he is dying from cancer and has little time left. Despite his condition, he is drawn into Ichiban's journey, and the two protagonists team up to face powerful enemies. Unlike previous games set in Japan, much of the story unfolds in a massive open-world Hawaiian city, complete with new factions, side activities, and American criminal organizations. Horizon Forbidden West Complete Edition is an expanded version of Horizon Forbidden West, an action role-playing game developed by Guerrilla Games. The Complete Edition includes the base game, along with additional downloadable content, DLC, and features that enhance the overall experience. The game was released in 2022, and the Complete Edition came out later, offering a comprehensive package for players who want to experience the game with all its content in one package. The game is set in a post-apocalyptic world where nature has taken over and robotic creatures roam the land. You play as Aloy, a skilled hunter and archer, tasked with saving the world from mysterious forces threatening life as we know it. The narrative picks up after the events of Horizon Zero Dawn, and takes you to the Forbidden West, a dangerous region filled with new threats, both human and robotic. Horizon Forbidden West is an open-world action RPG with exploration, combat, and puzzle solving. The game features a wide range of environments, from lush jungles and deserts to towering mountains and ruined cities. The Witcher 3. Wild Hunt is a highly acclaimed action role-playing game developed by CD Projekt Red. It was released in May 2015 and is the third installment in the Witcher series, based on the book series by Andrzej Sapkowski. The game follows the story of Geralt of Rivia, a monster hunter, as he searches for his adopted daughter, Ciri, who is being pursued by the Wild Hunt, a group of spectral riders. Set in a rich, open-world environment with a variety of locations, from lush forests and towering mountains to war-torn villages and bustling cities. The narrative is deeply influenced by player choices, with different outcomes based on decisions made throughout the game. The game explores themes of family, loyalty, and sacrifice, alongside darker elements like war, politics, and moral ambiguity. Geralt uses a combination of swordplay, magic, signs, and alchemy to fight monsters and human enemies. The combat system is fluid, with different techniques required for different types of foes. Assassin's Creed Odyssey is an action role-playing game developed by Ubisoft and released in October 2018. It is part of the Assassin's Creed series and takes place in ancient Greece during the Peloponnesian War, 431 to 422 BCE, a conflict between Athens and Sparta. The game follows the story of a mercenary, either Alexios or Cassandra. The player can choose their protagonist, who becomes embroiled in a larger conspiracy involving the First Civilization and the Assassin Brotherhood. The game offers a massive open-world representation of ancient Greece, filled with iconic landmarks like Athens, Sparta, and the Oracle of Delphi. It includes a variety of landscapes, from sun-drenched beaches and mountain peaks to ancient ruins and bustling cities. The game follows the chosen protagonist, Alexios or Cassandra, a descendant of the legendary Spartan king Leonidas. They begin as mercenaries and soon become involved in a broader conflict with political factions, the mysterious cult of Cosmos, and an overarching plot that ties into the First Civilization. Ben Studio created the action-adventure, open-world survival game Days Gone, which Sony Interactive Entertainment released. In the post-apocalyptic world of Days Gone, which was first released exclusively for the PlayStation 4 in April 2019 and then for the PC in 2021, players take control of Deacon St. John, a bounty hunter attempting to live in a world overrun by freakers which resemble zombies. The Pacific Northwest of the United States, where the game is set, has been devastated by a worldwide virus that has transformed the majority of its citizens into freakers, zombie-like creatures. This incident, known as the Freaker Outbreak, left society in ruins, leaving the majority of the world in a hazardous and dismal state. Players take control of Deacon St. John, a vagabond and former outlaw biker who is attempting to survive in this harsh environment. Deacon's primary objective is to locate Sarah, his wife, who vanished in the early stages of the outbreak. He accepts a variety of bounty hunting assignments along the road and discovers a more complex plot involving the freakers, human survivors, and dishonest government elements. Grand Theft Auto 5 GTA 5 is an open-world action-adventure game developed by Rockstar North and published by Rockstar Games. Originally released in 2013, the game is set in Los Santos, a fictional city based on Los Angeles, and the surrounding area of San Andreas. GTA 5 follows the story of three main protagonists. Michael DeSanta, a retired bank robber who lives a life of luxury but struggles with his dysfunctional family. Franklin Clinton, a young street hustler looking for a way out of gang life. Trevor Phillips, a violent and unpredictable criminal who thrives in chaos. The game allows players to switch between the three characters during missions and free roam. The game starts in 2004 with Michael Townley, Trevor Phillips and Brad Snyder robbing a bank in North Yankton. The heist goes wrong, leading to Michael faking his death in a secret deal with the FBI equivalent, while Trevor escapes and believes Michael is dead. GTA 5's story is full of action, humor, and deep character development. It's one of the most engaging crime stories in gaming. Disco Elysium is a critically acclaimed RPG developed by ZA/UM, released in 2019. It's known for its deep storytelling, unique dialogue-based gameplay, and philosophical themes. You play as a mystery detective in the city of Revolt, waking up in a trashed hotel room with no memory of who you are. Soon you learn that you're investigating a murder case. A man has been lynched behind the hotel. As you piece together the clues, You uncover secrets about the city, its politics, and your own past. You are accompanied by Kim Kitsuragi, a calm and rational detective who helps keep you grounded. Every action is resolved through skill checks and dialogue, making it a true role-playing experience. Instead of traditional RPG stats, your character's abilities are mental and emotional, e.g., logic, empathy, inland empire. Your thoughts have a voice, shaping your personality and decisions. Forza Horizon 5 is an open-world racing game developed by Playground Games and released in 2021. It's the latest entry in the Forza Horizon series and takes players to a stunning recreation of Mexico, offering the biggest and most diverse map in the series. You arrive in Mexico as a top racer and join the Horizon Festival. Your goal? To become the best racer across all event types: street racing, dirt racing, cross-country, and more. The story mode unfolds through Horizon Adventure, where you unlock different festival outposts by earning accolades, points from races, stunts, and exploration. Each outpost focuses on a different type of racing: Horizon Apex, road racing; Horizon Wilds, off-road racing; Horizon Baja, cross-country racing; Horizon Street Scene, street racing; Horizon Rush, PR stunts like speed traps and jumps. Some missions take you on expeditions, where you explore iconic locations in Mexico, like a volcano, ancient temples, and jungle ruins. Special story-driven challenges, like helping a local racer, tracking down lost cars, or reliving racing history, add variety. Final Fantasy XV is a tale of brotherhood, destiny, and sacrifice, centered around Prince Noctis Lucis Caelum, as he embarks on a journey to reclaim his kingdom and fulfill a tragic prophecy. The game begins with Noctis, the Prince of Lucis, setting out on a road trip with his three closest friends: Gladiolus, his protector; Ignis, his strategist; and Prompto, his best friend. They are traveling to Alticia, where Noctis is set to marry Lunafreya Nox Flore, the Oracle. However, while they are on the road, their homeland, Insomnia, is suddenly attacked by the Niflheim Empire. The city falls, King Regis, Noctis's father, is killed, and the powerful crystal of Lucis is taken by Niflheim. Noctis and his friends, now fugitives, must find a way to reclaim their kingdom. Noctis confronts and defeats Arden, but to fully destroy him, Noctis must sacrifice himself, as foretold by the prophecy. L.A. Noire, the Complete Edition, developed by Team Bondi and published by Rockstar Games, is a neo-noir detective thriller set in 1947 Los Angeles. You play as Cole Phelps, a war veteran turned LAPD detective, as he investigates crimes, interrogates suspects, and uncovers a deep conspiracy. Cole Phelps, a former U.S. Marine who served in World War II, joins the Los Angeles Police Department, LAPD, hoping to make a difference in a city filled with corruption. Throughout the game, he rises through the ranks by solving cases in different divisions. As Phelps moves up in the LAPD, he realizes that crime, corruption, and power go hand in hand. Many of his fellow officers and powerful figures are involved in criminal activities. A series of high-profile murders, drug deals, and arson attacks begin to connect, pointing to a larger conspiracy involving controlling drugs, Hollywood, and even law enforcement, illegally acquiring land and burning down homes, corrupt detectives covering up crimes. While working in Vice, Phelps begins an affair with a lounge singer, Elsa Lichtman, which leads to a scandal. He is disgraced and demoted to arson, but this allows him to see the full scale of corruption involving high-ranking officials, ex-military men, and powerful businessmen. Mafia. Definitive Edition is a full remake of the original Mafia, 2002, developed by Hangar 13 and published by 2K Games. Released in September 2020, it is built from the ground up using a modern engine and features enhanced graphics, voice acting, a reworked script, and improved gameplay. Tommy is just another working man trying to make an honest living. One night, while on shift, two gangsters, Paulie Lombardo and Sam Trapani, jump into his cab, forcing him to flee from their rivals, the Morello crime family. After a thrilling chase, Tommy delivers them safely to Salieri's bar, the headquarters of Don Ennio Salieri. The next day, Morello's men find Tommy and attack him for helping Salieri. With no other choice, he seeks help from Don Salieri, who welcomes him into the family. Realizing that there's no way out, Tommy turns himself in to the FBI, testifying against Salieri. His testimony leads to the downfall of the crime family, and in return, he's given a new identity under the Witness Protection Program. Years later, in 1951, Tommy is living a peaceful life with his wife and daughter until two hitmen arrive at his house, sent by the remnants of the Mafia. They execute him on his front lawn. Elden Ring is an action RPG developed by From Software and published by Bandai Namco. Released on February 25, 2022, it is directed by Hidetaka Miyazaki, the creator of Dark Souls, with world-building contributions from George R.R. Martin, Game of Thrones. The game takes place in the Lands Between, a vast and mysterious open world filled with powerful enemies, deep lore, and a complex story about gods, destiny, and ambition. The story revolves around the Elden Ring, a powerful force that maintains order in the Lands Between. After it is shattered, chaos erupts, and the demigod children of Queen Marika the Eternal wage war for control in the shattering. You play as a Tarnished, an exile summoned back to the Lands Between to restore the Elden Ring and become the Elden Lord. Along the way, you encounter various factions, allies, and enemies, each with their own agendas. One of the most mysterious and important figures in Elden Ring is Ranni the Witch, who seeks to escape the influence of the Greater Will, the god behind the Elden Ring. Her plan involves killing her own body to sever her connection to the Greater Will, seeking power from the Dark Moon instead of the Erdtree, helping the Tarnished defeat Radagon and the Elden Beast to free the world. Star Wars Outlaws is an action-adventure game developed by Massive Entertainment and published by Ubisoft, released on August 30th, 2024. Star Wars Outlaws takes place between The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, during a time when the Galactic Empire is at the height of its power and criminal syndicates are thriving in the chaos. The war between the Empire and the Rebel Alliance has created opportunities for smugglers, bounty hunters, and outlaws to make their mark on the galaxy. You play as Kay Vess, a cunning and ambitious outlaw looking to make a name for herself in the criminal underworld. Accompanied by her loyal companion, Nyx, and piloting the ship Trailblazer, Kay navigates a galaxy full of danger, betrayal, and opportunity. Kay starts off as a small-time thief working for various crime syndicates. However, after a heist goes wrong, she finds herself being hunted by powerful organizations, including the notorious Ashiga Clan, Crimson Dawn, Hutt Cartel, and the Pike Syndicate. Sword and Fairy 7, also known as The Legend of Sword and Fairy 7, is an action role-playing game developed by Softstar Technology, Beijing Company, Limited. Released in October 2021, it continues the legacy of the Sword and Fairy series, blending Chinese mythology with immersive storytelling. The narrative centers on Yu Qingshu, a young and skilled warrior from the Mingxu sect. While defending her village from supernatural threats, she encounters Zhu Wu, a deity warrior who has fallen from the deity realm into the human realm after a failed mission against the rebellious heavenly demons. Bound by fate, she encounters Zhu Wu embark on a journey filled with challenges, uncovering conspiracies that threaten the balance between the human, deity, and demon realms. The game explores themes of duty, sacrifice, and the intricate ties between different realms and beings. It delves into the complexities of power, the consequences of ambition, and the enduring strength of human and deity connections. Kingdom Come: Deliverance 2 is the highly anticipated sequel to the original 2018 action RPG developed by Warhorse Studios. Released on February 4, 2025, the game continues the story of Henry of Skalitz, immersing players once again in the intricate historical landscape of 15th century Bohemia. Picking up directly after the events of the first game, Kingdom Come: Deliverance 2 is set in 1403 within the Kingdom of Bohemia, part of the Holy Roman Empire. The narrative unfolds during a period of civil unrest, with King Wenceslaus IV imprisoned and his half-brother, King Sigismund of Hungary, leading an invasion. Players reprise the role of Henry, now a man-at-arms under Sir Radzig Kobyla, as he navigates the turmoil, seeking justice for personal losses and contributing to the broader resistance against Sigismund's forces. The game prominently features the city of Kutna-Hora, referred to by its German name, Kuttenberg, a significant economic hub of the era known for its silver mining and coinage. Death Stranding is set in a post-apocalyptic America following a cataclysmic event known as the Death Stranding. This event has caused supernatural phenomena, including the appearance of BTs, beached things, ghostly entities that exist between life and death. These BTs are linked to timefall, a rain that rapidly ages anything it touches. Society has collapsed, and humanity is fragmented, with isolated cities and settlements struggling to survive. The United Cities of America, UCA, is trying to rebuild civilization by creating a chiral network, a communication system that links survivors and cities across the country. You play as Sam Porter Bridges, a courier with the ability to detect BTs, tasked with reconnecting America while confronting supernatural threats, rogue factions, and his own past. Sam is recruited by Bridges, an organization founded by his adoptive mother Bridget, the former president of the UCA. He is tasked with traveling west to reconnect cities via the Chalisaral network, a new internet-like system powered by Chalicalium, a substance from the afterlife. The Evil Within 2 follows Sebastian Castellanos, a former detective haunted by the events of the first game. 3 years after his experiences at Beacon Mental Hospital, Sebastian has fallen into depression, drowning his pain in alcohol. One day, Julie Kidman, his former partner, reveals that his presumed dead daughter, Lily, is actually alive. She was abducted by Mobius, the secretive organization behind the STEM system, a machine that creates a shared dream world by linking human minds. Lily was being used as the core to stabilize a new STEM system called Union, but something went wrong, causing her to go missing. Sebastian enters the STEM world, which has taken the form of Union, a simulated town that has become corrupted and overrun by horrifying creatures. The system has started breaking down due to Lily's disappearance, causing chaos. Sebastian is given one chance to enter STEM, find Lily, and bring her back before Union collapses entirely. Far Cry New Dawn is a direct sequel to Far Cry 5, set 17 years after the nuclear apocalypse that ended the previous game. The world has started to recover, with nature reclaiming the land and survivors rebuilding their communities. However, chaos still reigns as new threats emerge. The game takes place in Hope County, Montana, the same setting as Far Cry 5, but now transformed into a post-apocalyptic landscape. Players take on the role of the Captain, a security expert working for Thomas Rush, a leader trying to help survivors rebuild society. The main antagonists are Mickey and Lou, twin sisters who lead the Highwaymen, a ruthless gang that pillages settlements. The player must gather allies, strengthen their base, Prosperity, and fight back against the Highwaymen, while uncovering the fate of Far Cry 5's infamous villain, Joseph Seed. The Captain arrives in Hope County as part of a rebuilding effort led by Thomas Rush. However, the train carrying their group is ambushed by the Highwaymen, and Rush is captured. The Captain escapes with Carmina Rye, and together they return to Prosperity, the last stronghold of the survivors. Mickey and Lou demand the community submit to their rule. Ghost Recon Wildlands is set in a fictionalized version of Bolivia, where a powerful drug cartel, Santa Blanca, has turned the country into a narco state. The cartel, led by El Sueno, has infiltrated every part of Bolivian society, controlling politics, the military, and the economy. The US government considers Santa Blanca a global threat after the cartel bombs an American embassy. In response, they deploy the Ghosts, an elite 4-man special operations unit, to dismantle the cartel and eliminate El Sueno. The game is played from a third-person perspective, with a focus on open-world exploration, tactical planning, and cooperative gameplay. The Ghosts are deployed into Bolivia with the objective of dismantling Santa Blanca by eliminating its key leaders across 4 branches: security, smuggling, influence, and production. The team must gather intelligence, assassinate targets, and weaken the cartel's operations. As the Ghosts eliminate lieutenants and disrupt Santa Blanca's operations, El Sueno grows desperate, ordering his forces to retaliate. Meanwhile, the Ghosts uncover deeper corruption, learning that Bolivia's Unidad military force is cooperating with Santa Blanca. Watch Dogs 2 is set in a fictionalized version of San Francisco, where corporations and the government use technology to control citizens through mass surveillance. The game follows Marcus Holloway, a young hacker who joins DedSec, a hacktivist group fighting against corruption and privacy violations. The main antagonist is Bloom Corporation, the creators of CTOS 2.0, an advanced citywide operating system that manipulates data, influences elections, and invades people's privacy. Marcus and DedSec aim to expose Bloom's crimes, take down corrupt officials, and give power back to the people. The game builds on the hacking mechanics from Watch Dogs 2014, but offers a more light-hearted, rebellious tone compared to the first game's darker, revenge-driven narrative. Marcus is wrongly flagged as a future criminal by CTOS 2.0, Bloom's AI-driven surveillance system. To clear his name and expose the system's flaws, he hacks into Bloom's servers. Impressed by his skills, DedSec recruits him, and together, they aim to expose how corporations manipulate society using personal data. Edge of Eternity is a fantasy meets sci-fi JRPG set in the world of Herion, a land torn apart by a war between humans and an advanced alien race known as the Archelites. The conflict escalates when the Archelites unleash a devastating biological weapon called the Corrosion, a disease that mutates living beings into monstrous creatures. The game follows Darion, a former soldier who deserts the military after learning that his mother has been infected with corrosion. Together with his sister Selene, a priestess, he embarks on a journey to find a cure and uncover the deeper mysteries surrounding the war, the disease, and the world itself. Herion has been ravaged by the war between humans and archelites for years. The archelites introduced the corrosion, a disease that turns the infected into monstrous beings, making the situation even more desperate. Sleeping Dogs is set in a fictionalized version of Hong Kong, focusing on the city's vibrant nightlife, bustling markets, and criminal underworld. The game follows Wei Shen, an undercover cop tasked with infiltrating the Sun On Yi, one of the city's most powerful triad organizations. As Wei climbs the ranks of the triad hierarchy, he struggles with his dual identity, balancing his duty as a cop with the loyalty and friendships he develops within the criminal world. Wei Shen, a Hong Kong-born cop raised in the US, is sent back to his home city to infiltrate the Sun On Yi triad. He reunites with his childhood friend, Jackie Ma, who introduces him to Winston Chu, a local triad lieutenant. Koei earns Winston's trust by helping him fight against his rival, Dog Eyes Lin, through various criminal activities, car thefts, drug deals, and enforcing protection rackets. He rises in the triad ranks, all while secretly gathering intel for the police. The Crew 2 is an open-world racing game set in a scaled-down version of the United States, featuring major cities like New York, Los Angeles, Miami, and more. Unlike its predecessor, which had a crime-based story, The Crew 2 focuses on motorsports and social media fame, allowing players to compete in different disciplines: cars, boats, planes, and bikes, to become the ultimate motorsports champion. The game emphasizes freedom and exploration, letting players switch between land, sea, and air vehicles seamlessly, while completing races, stunts, and challenges across the massive open world. The player starts as a rookie racer, competing in the Live Extreme series, a motorsports event that gains popularity through social media. By winning races and performing stunts, players gain followers, which is the game's way of tracking progression. Each category has a legendary racer, icon, at the top, and the player must beat them in final showdowns to claim their title. As the player wins more events and gains millions of followers, they become the biggest motorsport star in the US. The Last of Us is set in a post-apocalyptic United States, 20 years after a fungal outbreak of the cordyceps brain infection wipes out most of humanity, turning the infected into violent, zombie-like creatures. Society has collapsed, with military quarantine zones, raider groups, and rebel factions fighting for survival. The story follows Joel, a hardened survivor, and Ellie, a 14-year-old girl who is immune to the infection. Tasked with escorting Ellie across the country to a rebel group called the Fireflies, Joel must navigate through dangerous territories while developing a father-daughter bond with Ellie. The game begins in Austin, Texas, when the cordyceps outbreak first spreads. Joel tries to escape with his daughter, Sarah, and brother, Tommy, but soldiers shoot Sarah, killing her in Joel's arms. 20 years later, Joel is a hardened smuggler, living in a military quarantine zone in Boston. Joel and his partner Tess are hired by the Fireflies to smuggle Ellie out of the city. They later discover that Ellie is immune to the infection. When Tess is infected and sacrifices herself, Joel reluctantly agrees to take Ellie to the Fireflies lab in the West. Shenmue 3 is the long-awaited sequel to Shenmue 2, continuing Ryo Hazuki's journey to avenge his father's murder. Set in 1987 China, the game follows Ryo as he searches for clues about the mysterious Phoenix Mirror and the connection between his father's killer, Lan Di, and an ancient prophecy. The game takes place in two main locations: Bailu Village, a peaceful rural town in Guilin, where Ryo learns about his father's past and the Phoenix Mirror's origins; Niaowu, a bustling riverside city filled with shops, gambling, and dangerous enemies. The game picks up immediately after Shenmue 2, with Ryo and Shenhua investigating her missing father Yuan, who was kidnapped by a gang called the Red Snakes. While exploring Bailu Village, Ryo learns about an ancient prophecy involving two mirrors, Phoenix and Dragon, and the fate of the world. The game picks up immediately after Shenmue 2, with Ryo and Shenhua investigating her missing father, Yuan, who was kidnapped by a gang called the Red Snakes. While exploring Bailu Village, Ryo learns about an ancient prophecy involving two mirrors, Phoenix and Dragon, and the fate of the world. Fallout 4 is set in a post-apocalyptic Massachusetts, known in-game as the Commonwealth, in the year 2287 to 210 years after a nuclear war destroyed civilization. The player takes on the role of the sole survivor, a resident of Vault 111, who wakes up from cryogenic stasis to find their spouse murdered and their infant son kidnapped. Emerging into the ruined world, the sole survivor must search for their missing child, uncover the truth about the Wasteland's factions, and decide the fate of the Commonwealth. The game begins on October 23, 2077, with the player living a normal life in Sanctuary Hills with their spouse and baby, Sean. Suddenly, nuclear bombs drop, and the family evacuates to Vault 111, where they are unknowingly placed in cryogenic sleep. During their stasis, the sole survivor watches helplessly as unknown assailants kill their spouse and kidnap Sean, then return to cryosleep. The player wakes up 210 years later to find Vault 111 abandoned. Emerging into the ruins of Sanctuary, they begin their search for Sean, learning about the Wasteland's dangers, raiders, and mutated creatures. Middle-earth. Shadow of War is a sequel to Shadow of Mordor, set in J.R.R. Tolkien's Lord of the Rings universe. The game follows Talion, a Gondorian ranger, and Celebrimbor, the wraith of the Elven Smith, who forged the Rings of Power. After forging a new Ring of Power, Talion and Celebrimbor attempt to raise an army to challenge Sauron and take control of Mordor. However, they face betrayal, new enemies, and the growing influence of the Dark Lord. The game begins with Talion and Celebrimbor forging a new Ring of Power free of Sauron's corruption. However, before they can use it, Shelob ambushes them, kidnaps Celebrimbor, and forces Talion to give up the ring to save him. Shelob then gives Talion visions of the future, revealing that Sauron is growing stronger and will soon conquer Middle-earth. Determined to challenge Sauron, Talion invades Mordor's fortresses to recruit orc captains using the Nemesis system. He gains allies, including the troll Bruce the Chopper and the elf assassin Eltariel.